Jason, as soon as you stop trying to work with everybody, you're going to end up with more business. Hey, what's up, guys? That's a lesson that my first coach, Floyd Wickman, gave me many years ago, and I can hear him saying it just like it was yesterday. So you're in real estate sales and you like to help people, and that's an amazing quality that could also be causing you some problems. You see, Floyd used to also caution us that our strengths could become our weaknesses if we allow them to. Wanting to help people does not mean that you're obligated or that you should even try to help everybody in your marketplace. You shouldn't try to work every lead at a certain point in your career. And this came up on a coaching call this week. Someone I've worked with for a while received a referral from her sphere of influence. This was a piece of business that she chose to refer out to another realtor and not work personally. And so she found someone who she felt could handle that business competently. And for two reasons. Number one, this particular referral that came into her was for a lease transaction, and she doesn't want to do leases at this point of her career. And the second reason is that she didn't feel she was qualified because the majority of her focus is placed on a certain area of town, and she works on listings and sales. So she's disconnected from the lease market, but found someone who knew what was going on currently and could actually help the client and do a good job. Now, initially, the person who sent her the referral was put off by that, and she handled that conversation masterfully, so that's all smoothed over. But then when we started talking, she started questioning, well, should I have done that? Was it the right move? Should I have taken that business even though I didn't want to, even though I wasn't the most qualified, and worked it anyway just because it came from a member of my sphere of influence? And I think she knew the answer, but sometimes in coaching, you just need that extra voice, that outside voice to help you see that, yeah, you're on the right track. And my message to her was, you did the right thing. You should not have tried to work that business. So as I was reviewing those coaching notes, it occurred to me that, maybe people out there could use a reminder that you don't have to work every lead that comes your way. Like, it's okay to say no sometimes. And I remembered this quote that I had heard from Steve Jobs, and I looked it up. He actually, on May 16th, 2011, in an interview said, "People think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on, but that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. You have to pick carefully." And so until myself or anybody watching this is worth more than Steve Jobs, I think we should maybe just take that advice, right? So here's what it means for real estate. In the beginning of your career, there's going to be a period of time where you probably should ignore Steve Jobs and just work everything. So if it's a lease transaction or something way in another part of town that you're not familiar with, do your best to work that business, and a couple things will happen. You'll get comfortable working with contracts and going on appointments and talking to people in an environment that you're not familiar with yet. You'll start, as you go to different areas of your city, learning the areas that you prefer, and you'll be able to refine your area of specialty. But as quickly as possible, you want to make those decisions and focus in so that you can become an expert in your territory. Becoming an area expert sort of has this positive compounding effect on your business, because as you're working in an area that you're naturally enthusiastic about, people are going to feel that. The energy is going to be radiating off of you. And the more you're there, the more you're going to build up your knowledge base. And as you speak to people in your marketplace, they're not only going to feel your positive energy, but they're going to hear your knowledge. And that's going to inspire them not only to do business with you, but to send referrals your way. And then, it's great to have money, right? That will lead to more money and more commissions. But most of us also want to have a career that has meaning. And so you'll be helping people in an area that you really enjoy, and you'll be inspired, and you'll feel like you actually are making a difference in your community, which is probably much more closely aligned to why you got your license in the first place. But people seem to get trapped in turning business down to focus on what's really important, because initially turning business down feels like a loss, especially if it's the first time you've done it, right? Because when you turn away an opportunity, it creates a void. A space is created, and that space is necessary, because if it's not created, then the new business can't come in. When I used to travel, there used to be students who would ask for a refund, and it would create an open seat. I would have a sold out program, and then somebody wanted a refund, and now a space was created. Initially, that stressed me out. And then it didn't take long for me to learn, that space is opened up because there's somebody else in this company that needed the training more. And sure enough, as long as I could just calm down and then go back to my own lead generating practices, I would find the student that really needed to be in the program. And the same thing for you. When you have a space created because you turn business away, as long as you have a solid foundation of good lead generating practices, you're going to find the person who needed you even more than the person that you turned away. So the opposite of all this is thinking from a scarcity-based mindset and trying to work every lead that comes your way for the short-term gain of a commission, especially if you don't have to do that anymore, especially if it's in areas or with people that you don't like. Now, I call that working for a paycheck. And I know that you don't want to do that because you're in this business called real estate and you walk around calling yourself a realtor. If you wanted a paycheck, you'd go work for somebody else and be their employee. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. Scroll down, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought about this week's lesson. My name is Jason Edwards, and let's go think bigger this week.